Increased taxes for Jamaicans in the new budget, and in sport, praise for Darren Sammy's leadership ahead of the Caribbean Premier League. I'm Dawn Paris, and this is the Caribbean in 10 for Friday, March 10th. I'll be back with the details after the break.
Grow your business or promote your event through the services offered by the Caribbean Media Corporation and CaribVision. Our distribution provides a platform on cable, terrestrial television, and websites. We cover carnivals and events from across the region. We can bring your event live and alive to the world. For music makers, program producers, businesses, we can expand your reach to in excess of 2 million households daily. Our other services include news updates to enhance your media products, studio space for program and development. We can facilitate the launch of new products and services and training. Contact us and we will help you unleash your creative ability, develop products and services, and provide the medium to watch them grow. Contact Loretta Skeet at cmccaribbean.com or call her 1-246-467-1044 or 1-246-253-3889. Call and book your carnival or event today.
Jamaica's Finance Minister Audley Shaw has announced a raft of tax increases that will see residents paying more for fuel, tobacco, alcohol, and vehicle licenses. With the increase in the special consumption tax on fuel, consumers will be spending more on transportation as well, and they'll also have to dig deeper in their pockets to pay their electricity bills. The Finance Minister announced these and other tax measures as he delivered the budget yesterday. Together, those measures are expected to earn the government $13.5 billion in revenue, but that still leaves a $27 billion funding gap. And Shaw says government will again return to the National Housing Trust, taking $11.4 billion, while an additional $3.9 billion would come from a revised property tax system. But in addition to the taxes, the Finance Minister also announced some income tax relief. Approximately 400,000 Jamaicans will no longer pay personal income tax as of April 1st. Shaw told Parliament the government will fulfill its promise to increase the personal income tax threshold as of that date. And on the same day, the property tax rate will be reduced to between 0.8% and 1.3%, which will see over 272,000 property owners benefiting from either a reduction in taxes or no change in the amount charged last year. The state entity mandated to develop and market Trinidad and Tobago's tourism product and improve the sector is being dissolved. It was announced yesterday that the Tourism Development Company is being replaced with two separate companies, one for Trinidad and the other for Tobago. Elizabeth Williams of TV6 News tells us more.
Speaking at Thursday's post-cabinet media briefing in Tobago, Tourism Minister Shamfa Cudjoe said the decision to dissolve the TDC follows a review of the entity.
And so it is in that light that this decision was made today after the review was done, as we looked at the different structures for the management of tourism in Trinidad and Tobago. Any serious tourism destination needs to have basic standards. Right now in Trinidad and Tobago, right now in the Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago is the only tourism destination that doesn't have a regulatory authority or basic standards that are mandatory.
As for improvements to the tourism industry as a whole, Minister Cudjoe said an agreement has also been made for the establishment of an entity to deal with regulation and licensing for the tourism sector.
You are well aware, a couple of weeks ago, the Tobago House of Assembly would have made the announcement about establishing a new tourism development agency to treat with and to focus on the development of tourism in Tobago. So this decision also honors the decision of the Tobago House of Assembly.
In what has been described as one of the most high-profile criminal cases in the Cayman Islands history, the former president of the University College of the Cayman Islands has been found guilty of stealing nearly $500,000. during his time there and lying about having a doctorate to get the job. After 3 days of deliberation, a grand court jury found Hassan Syed guilty on all 12 charges, including theft, fraud, and deception. The judge told the court that Syed was an intelligent, persuasive, deceitful individual whose 18-month presidency was obtained by dishonesty. He will know what punishment he will face after both the prosecution and defense submit their sentencing arguments. Syed's application for bail in the meantime was refused, with the judge pointing out that he had fled the jurisdiction before when his lies caught up with him, and he has the wherewithal to do it again. So he'll wait his sentencing in jail. Stay with us, your Midday Sport is next.
The fund. Mr. Vera was speaking to it before we lost him. Is that money paid into the consolidated fund?
The funds in Antigua go into a special fund which is under the management of the Accountant General and the Financial Secretary. There was also a board in place which has recently been disbanded.
Come play at the 50th edition of Antigua Sailing Week. Not a sailor? Not a problem. Chase the race from the best beach locations and party in the ocean. On our beaches, a different one each day. Take a drink, take another. Hula, play, dance in the sand. Dance to reggae, to soca, to the beat of your own drum under the moonlight. 7 beach days and party nights. Come play at the 50th edition of Antigua Sailing Week.
April 29th to May 7th, 2017.
Are you up for the challenge?
Welcome back, and we continue with sports. Australian all-rounder Shane Watson has praised the captaincy of Darren Sammy as he gears up for another campaign in the Caribbean Premier League starting in August. Watson, the marquee signing last season for St. Lucia Zouks, now rebranded St. Lucia Stars, is expected to be a key part of the franchise's bid this year for their first ever CPL title. Speaking ahead of today's draft, the 35-year-old said Sammy had been crucial to the St. Lucia franchise's success last season, where they reached the playoffs for the first time ever.
Always played against Darren, so I never had a chance to really get to know him, away from the game as well. So to be able to be captained by him, certainly is a very charismatic guy, very, a strong leader. Says things that need to be said at the right times. And on the field, he certainly absorbs pressure very well. He's a great decision maker under pressure, which we've all seen for the West Indies as well.
Watson had a decent outing for last season for Zouks, scoring 287 runs at an average of 31 while picking up 12 wickets with his medium pace. He says he is hoping the trend will continue in this season of the competition.
The great thing is our squad's not really changing that much from last year. So we should be able to really continue to build on what we were able to build last year.
Barbados Pride will benefit from the inclusion of West Indies stars Jonathan Carter, Shea Hope and Ashley Nurse, but will miss West Indies captain Jason Holder, Carlos Brathwaite and opener Craig Brathwaite for their 6th round game in the regional 4-day championship starting Saturday. All 6 players were members of the West Indies team, which suffered a humbling whitewash to England in the 3-match one-day international series, which wrapped up at Kensington Oval yesterday. However, only Carter, Hope and Nurse will make the quick transition to the longer format to face Leeward Islands Hurricanes at the Oval, as Holder and the 2 Brathwaites have not been included in a 13-man squad named yesterday by selectors. Pride will be led by all-rounder Kevin Stout and also include current Test players Shane Dowrich, Roston Chase, Jumel Warken and Miguel Cummings. And that's Caribbean in 10. Join us again this evening at 6:30 for Caribbean Newsline. Good afternoon.